So in the last video we said this shift, right? We said this shift. So what we gonna do, now, we're gonna move it. If we are gonna, if we pressing the A key, okay, if we press A key, this will go left. If we pressing D key, it will go right. So to do, to achieve that, we need a script to do. Okay, so select the game object and go to transform component. Okay, over here you can see, if I decreasing the x position, okay, if I decreasing the x position, as you can see, it's going left. If I increasing the x position of transform component, it's going right. Means that we need a reference of this transform. Okay, so get that, we need to create a C# script which gonna handle our all inputs. If we pressing the A key, it will go left. If we are pressing the D key, it will go right. If we are not pressing, then it will be stay there. So we're gonna we select the game object, and then add component. I'm going to create a player script, player, or whatever you can name it. Okay, you can name also sheep. You it's up to you. So by naming it, go to new script, then create an add. Okay, then create an add and double click it to uh, open up in Visual Studio. Okay, this is player. Okay, so over here, as you can see, class player, what does this means? Basically this means, let's suppose you gonna build a house. Firstly, you decide how many rooms in your house will be, how many, where you gonna place your kitchen room, how many bedroom will be there, where window will be, all of those stuff. What you do, you design on a paper, or you imagine, right? So the design is the class, and the actual what you build the house is the player. So as it is over here we will define some attributes and variables for the shift. Okay, for the shift. So shift will do. So first thing over here, as you can see, the start function. The start functions call one time. Okay, when the game starts it's called one time. When the game starts, it's called one time. After that, the update functions called 60 times in 1 second, means 60 frames in 1 second. Okay, it's called again and again and again. Okay, it's called again and again and again. So firstly, if I head back to Unity, if I head back to Unity, just wait for compiling it. So we need this transform, right? I'm gonna set it to 0 now. So we need a speed and this transform. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to update function, because this runs each frame, this runs again and again. So we need to go update function. From there, firstly we're gonna set a variable. Okay, variable is like a container. We will make a float variable. Float means those numbers with comes with decimals like 0.5, 0.4, 0.6, 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 5.5. Those numbers are float. So we're gonna make a, we also name also should name it speed. Okay, I'm gonna name it speed. Okay, by default I'm going to set like 5f. Also you have to put f. Okay, if it's float, if this integer, you don't need to put f over there. Also we need to set it to public. Okay, public, because if we set if we set this public, so we will able to see over here an empty slot speed, and the value over here. Okay, if we set it to public. Okay, public. If we set to private, okay, private or like this, uh, private or like this, this automatically defined or automatically get defined by private, so we need to make it public. Okay, so we will able to adjust the value of speed over here. We don't need to come over the script again and again. So also you have to control s on your keyboard to save this script. Okay, control s and head back to Unity, and then you will able to see the speed variable over here, speed and the value over here. You can uh, adjust the value, so you don't just need to go over again on the script. As you can see, speed and the value. So what we need this we need to access this x position to move this shift, right? So I'm gonna put it 0. We don't want to move it y direction. Okay, direction, or if I select this, or the z direction. Okay, z direction. Okay, I'm gonna set it to z direction 0. So we just only want to move it x direction. So I'm gonna move it little bit down. I'm gonna set x to 0, and if I open up the script, so I need this transform. So what we're gonna do in update function, because this one calls every time. Okay, again and again. So we are going transform. Okay, transform, then dot position. So what we are doing over here, we are going to transform and then position. So we need to uh, we're gonna set to class equal, we're gonna set class equal. Okay, new vector 3, vector 3. So vector 3 takes 3 arguments, x, y and the z. Okay, so it needs x, y and the z. Okay, and the z একটু পরে একটু পরে আয়, হ্যাঁ একটু পরে x, this is x and this is y and this is z. Okay, this is z. Okay, this gonna takes x, x and y and z. Okay, so what we gonna do, set f. Okay, we're gonna move in the x direction. Okay, we don't want to move in the y direction. Okay, we don't want to move in the y direction. Okay, and we don't want to move in the z direction also. We just want to move in the x direction. We're gonna set to y 0f on the y, z direction 0f, and we're gonna make it comma. So over here we're gonna make some changes. We also need to create one variable over here. Okay, we're gonna make it public float. We're gonna call it movement. Okay, movement, and we're gonna set this movement in the update function. Movement equal to input input dot get axis. Okay, input dot get axis horizontal horizon sorry horizontal horizontal. Okay, so what this, and then we are replacing with movement. Okay, so what does this mean? Firstly, if we are pressing any a or d key. Okay, a, or let's suppose we are pressing a key, so this will be -1, because this is checking if we are pressing a or d key. This is checking a or d key. Let's suppose we are pressing a key. Okay, so this will be -1. So this will be -1. So we are putting into this movement. So movement becomes -1. Okay, so movement became -1. Let's suppose we are pressing the d key, so this will be 1. Okay, 1, and we are putting into this movement variable, and then movement becomes 1, and then this becomes 1. So in the x direction. Okay, in the x direction, we also need to multiply it by our this speed. Okay, how much should, so you have to write this speed. Okay, you have to star. This star is work like multiplication, and then we also need to multiply it by that time dot delta time. I am going to explain why. So let's suppose you have a super fast computer. So in your computer, this function will run 120 frames per second, but my computer is laggy. Okay, this my computer runs 60 frames say in 1 second. So there is a huge between your computer and my computer in game running. So multiplying with time dot delta time makes frame rate independence. Okay, so whatever computer you are using, the frame rates will be same. Okay, so that's why we are multiplying with time dot delta time. So firstly, what we going to transform component and then accessing the position, and we are setting the x position to movement. Okay, we are setting the x position movement, and then multiplying with speed, and then multiplying with time dot delta time. So this firstly we are checking this function over here, input dot get axis checks if we are pressing a or d key. Let's suppose we are pressing a key, so this becomes -1. Okay, and we are putting -1 into this movement, so this became -1. So this became -1 into speed is 5, so -1 into 5, which is becomes -5 into time dot delta time. Okay, so this will go -5, and we are so this runs every second, each again and again. So this will go -5, -5, -5, and so on. Okay, so this is, and control s on your keyboard to save this and head back to Unity. You will able to see. Just wait a minute to compiling it. Okay, so if I now play, and if you don't press anything like a or d, this becomes 0. And as you can, if it's 0, if we multiply this 5 into 0, which becomes 0, so it will stay there, it will not move. Now if I press a key, as you can see, it's going left. If I pressing d key, it's going right. If I not pressing, the movement becomes 0. If I pressing d key, it's become 1. And as you can see, we are adding this into this position. Okay, this position, I hope you understand. So so this is for now. In the next tutorial we will plan that, so the player will won't get outside the window or the game screen. Okay, left or right, and then we will add the shoot function. Okay, cool.